More sirens. The sirens don't bother her, so she doesn't understand why the dogs are so upset. Sirens really bother the dogs. It's really difficult to understand why people get so ticked about things when those things don't really affect you that way. Yeah, it's hard for her to understand why the dogs are so upset. It doesn't bother her that the sirens are going by, so she's probably not even focused on them. She's focused on the dogs crying. Because from her perspective, that's the big problem right now. There's dogs and they're crying. From the dog's perspective, there's this horrific noise piercing my ears and it hurts. She doesn't have any clue. She doesn't have any clue why that's a problem or that it even is, you know? Anyway. I heard a critic the other day say that I have to say something good about this thing that this person has done. I'm not going to say who the critic was or who the person that did the thing was or the thing they did. I'm just going to say the point is the critic said, I have to say something good about this person and this thing they did. Though I don't like the person or most of the things they do, they did do something right here, and I have to bring it to your attention, because if I don't, none of my other criticisms matter. I have to acknowledge when something good has been done. Otherwise, all the times I've pointed out when something bad has been done, it doesn't mean a thing. Oh yeah, amen. It is so difficult. It is so difficult in life to deal with somebody and have any positivity in that dealing when every interaction you have with them, they are being negative to you. They are talking down to you. They're being derogatory. They are diminishing anything you've said or done. It's hard to remain positive and to keep interacting with that person. One of the main themes I've seen on Facebook, especially in the last several years, has been unfriendings. People unfriend people because of politics, because of religion, because of this, because of that, whatever. And I understand the want to do that. I get it. I do. I really do. But just because somebody's being negative, you have to understand they might not see the things that you're seeing the way you're seeing them. You know, they might not understand why you're so upset about what you're upset about, and they're like, and they're being negative to you. They don't have your perspective on it. Dogs are out there crying. They hear the siren. It's hurting like hell. Excuse me. It's hurting like hell to hear the siren. We had tacos tonight, man. They were good. I had tacos for lunch too. Today's Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. Oh man. You know, you hear somebody bitching and griping at you, making a fit. You don't maybe understand why they're so upset. The thing that is upsetting them might not upset you the way it does them. You know, they've got a different take on it, and just because you don't understand their perception of the thing doesn't mean it's not a problem. You know what I mean? It just means you don't get the problem. Or, you know, if you try to make an effort, and here's where I'll accept that. If you try to make an effort to understand what their problem is, and you listen, and you wholeheartedly, and you can't convince them that you did, you know, if you put the effort in, you wholeheartedly made an attempt to understand the thing, and you've got a firm grasp of what's really going on, and you get their point of view, and you still think they're being stupid, that's another thing. But a lot of times we don't do that. A lot of times we just, you know, you're dumbass, you know. We don't make an attempt to understand their point of view or their perspective or what the hell's going on. And a lot of times you can't. You can't, you know. A guy was telling me today his dad would never spank them. He would have the mom do it. He didn't really understand why until he saw pictures that they had taken, Polaroids, where his dad had been beaten, like viciously beaten by the great-grandma, the dad's grandma, right? I don't want to give away too much here. Then he understood. Well, Dad never spanked us because he knew that discipline had to happen, but he didn't trust himself to deliver it judiciously, right? Or that's at least his understanding or his belief that that's what was going on. He doesn't know. Never really talked to him about it. Why didn't Dad spank the kids? Well, maybe Dad trust, you know. Why did a guy never want kids? Why was he so vehemently opposed to having them? Maybe something happened to him when he was little. He didn't believe that he should have kids, you know. You never know. And sometimes you can't know. You can't know that thing because they won't share it, whatever. And a lot of times we talk to people and you go, why are you so upset about this? I just am. And they can't really tell you. Anyway. It is so difficult sometimes to remain positive or even remain communicative with someone you don't understand why they're being so damn negative. You don't understand why they're, you know, being so derogatory. You don't understand why they are talking down to you. And if you're one of those people who is constantly talking down to the people around you or trying to speak to people in an instructive manner, you know, understand that when people say, hey, I get what's going on there, I appreciate the effort, but I don't need that level of instruction on this. I just asked a simple question. Understand that sometimes those people have their own thing and they don't want to be talked down to. It's a thing, you know. Most of us don't want to be talked down to like we're 3 years old, you know, especially when you've got, you know, 12, 13 years of experience with something and you're being talked down to by somebody who has 3 or 4 years of experience, somebody who's 10 years your junior, you know, in physical, mental age as well as whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah. You know, if somebody takes the time and effort, even though you're infuriating them to that point, to say, hey, let's hold up a second. Cut it out. You know, come on. you're talking down to me. You're telling me this thing like I don't know, and I know I don't need that. I'm asking you this question. You know, I understand. Sometimes it takes a lot of effort for a person to be patient, calm, and go, hey, you know, they really want to cuss you out. They want to smash your face in. They want to crush your skull. You know, sometimes it takes them a lot of effort to say, hey, please don't do that. I understand that. I'm only asking about this one thing. What did you do when you dealt with this last time? Or, you know, I'm only asking about this one part of it. I don't know. Our entire society, our modern civilization is built around a couple of seconds, you know. They're not built around a couple of seconds. It has degenerated into a couple of seconds. It's built around years of paying attention to a minute detail and studying it and learning everything about it and expanding upon it. It's built around that. It has degenerated to a few seconds. Our attention span is just non-existent these days. If you have any doubt as to what I'm saying, and I know you don't, if you're, oh man, a good 10 minutes plus into this, I know you don't. You've got an attention span. You've got a halfway decent attention span at least. But if you have any doubt that people have absolutely fallen apart as far as paying attention to things, go check out TikTok. Go check out TikTok. Oh my goodness. Oh man. I don't know. I don't really have a point here. Just a thought, just a rambling thought. If you're dealing with somebody and they're aggravated, try to understand. They might have a take on things that gives them a level of aggravation or irritability to something that you just don't get, you can't get, you won't get. Try to understand it as best you can and try to work around it, work with it, work through it. Try to work with them. Try to get along with people, you know. Sometimes it's worth the effort. Sometimes that really gruff guy who's really hard to talk to, it doesn't want to seem to talk to anybody, sometimes he's just frustrated because everybody's got a 30-second attention span, you know. Sometimes if you work past him with it, you spend a little time with him, sometimes he's worth it. Not every time, but believe it or not, a lot of times that gruff, grumpy dude is actually worth it, you know. You learn a lot of shit from that guy. If you're fortunate, you can bring the wisdom to bear. Sometimes you can have an impact on that guy's life too. Yeah, it's a thing. Try to see it from the other guy's perspective. You know? Try to understand there's something bothering them that, and you won't always, but just try to be forgiving of it, you know? What's the golden rule? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Accept from others as you would have them accept from you. Be there for someone the way you would have them be there for you. You know what I mean? Be respectful the way you would want to be respected. A lot of times it doesn't cost you anything. And you will find the little bit it does cost you is usually ego and pride. And that's usually not worth anything anyway, just to be honest. All things in moderation, my friends. All things in moderation. Anakin did bring balance to the Force in the end, if you really think about it. The good guys, the Jedi, always focusing on the light, never dealt with the dark, even though it actually played a part in their day-to-day lives. It's the truth. And it's just a story. It's just a story just meant to tell a tale. But it's a thing. Anyway. Go out in the world and deal with people, man. Have a good one. I'll catch you on the next one.